through that window.
And you can't. 8 a.m, North London. High Court enforcement agents Paul Bowhill and Steve Pinner work across the south of England, enforcing writs and repossessing properties.
Today we're off to Cricklewood with a writ of possession. I don't know if it's a Mr or a Miss.
They're on their way to evict tenant Kekwa Dongu and her family, who've ignored several court orders telling them to leave.
Just look for the number. It's on our left. It's up there. Oh, I think they're ready for us.
But this job isn't going to be straightforward.
Good morning.
Well, it's 9 o'clock, no?
9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. Then you can't come in.
What's significant about 9 o'clock?
That's what we were told, 9.
Oh, right.
It says on my paperwork 8.
The family claim they have a letter telling them the eviction would begin at 9 and are protesting about the early arrival of the agents.
Good morning.
It's 9 o'clock. You can't come in. It's supposed to be 9 o'clock, Chief.
There is no time. I don't know who...
But that's the time they give us 9 o'clock. That's what I'm trying to blame this.
The writ gives the agents authority to enter the property at any time. Kekwa comes down to back up the father of her children.
No, they want to say 9 o'clock. Oh, God.
It's okay, you don't have to be out until 9, so you've got... that's a bonus. There's always something.
You go wait outside, please.
No.
But they say 9 o'clock.
Paul wants to remain by the door, just in case the tenants try and lock themselves in.
Sorry, you in on that because it's quite cold?
No. This is no longer your house.
Okay, so why are you standing by the edge?
Because that's what I do.
That's what you do? You just stand by the exit?
That's right, yeah. To make sure you don't slam the door.
Sorry?
To make sure you don't slam the door.
You're quite funny, you know.
I am, yeah.
Quite funny.
You think you're funny? Yeah? People have to move their stuff. You're always standing on the phone. You should move down there, they're moving stuff.
Well, when you're ready.
Kekwa and her family have just 1 hour to pack their essentials and leave. But instead, they're still arguing over the timing of the eviction.
Look, I'm not being objectionable. Why are you being objectionable? You know, we've been perfectly civilised and you seem to be a bit unreasonable.
Tenants get rude and angry because, honestly, they don't want to meet us. We're asking them to leave their home, so they are going to be angry. If you try and shout, you've lost. It's just a no-win situation. With all due respect, and I understand that you've been told...
You don't understand.
I do understand. You've been told...
You come inside the house, you say you don't understand.
Forget about the letter and all of that. Out of respect, you can't even give us, half an hour to sort of get off things out.
You have the hour. You have the hour.
It's going to be like this.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're making all this fuss. Just get packed and go.
If you could get out of the way, we could actually do it quicker.
You've got an hour to clear the stuff out, so no problem.
If you've got until 9 to leave, why are you here?
We give you an hour to get your stuff together.
No, nobody told... Listen very carefully. Nobody told us
No. You listen
9
very
o'clock.
carefully. You listen very carefully.
Okay.
Don't touch me like that.
All right.
You're saying you've got up until 9. Yeah? We're saying if you got up until 9, why are you in here when it's not 9 o'clock
Because
yet?
they told us 8.
And they told us 9.
Oh, sorry, we'll get them here and we'll argue it out.
This guy, you're all the same. You don't know what you're talking about.
The reason that tenants make issues out of things that otherwise are definitely irrelevant is that it diverts their mind from the main thrust of the situation. They're going to be evicted. They're just looking for reasons to, in their mind, discredit us.
Kekwa's son decides to start filming Paul on his phone.
You don't care if he thinks it's funny coming to people's houses.
I don't think it's funny at all.
You do think it's funny, but you don't seem to care.
I do care.
You don't?
Okay, I don't care.
You don't?
All right, then I don't care. I'll go with you, wherever you want.
No, it's not with me. It's
You're wasting your time with that.
I've got until 9, so I can stay and record you up until 9. I'm all good.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's your name, Mr. Clown?
My name is Paul Bowhill.
Yeah. The name suits you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. It's kind of you to say so. What's your name?
Don't worry about my name. My name is...
Steve Pinner.
Look at that big smile on his face. It's funny as well.
I'm just pleasant.
Funny guy. Coming in, standing there. Like some military.
With the situation becoming confrontational, the agents need the family to focus on getting ready to leave.
Better not lock us in. I will be miffed.
Leave it.
It's 9 o'clock. The tenant's hour to pack is up, and they must leave.
I'm going to get a clicker. Key phrase. 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. 47 times so far we've heard 9 o'clock.
But Kekwa's son wants to go back in to fetch more belongings.
You don't listen to us, I'm not going to listen to you. Simple as.
You can't come back in. No, you can't come back in.
What do you mean I can't come back
That's
in?
it, 9 o'clock.
Why are you touching me for?
You've got to go. You've got to go.
Can you not touch me?
You're
Don't touch me like that.
Okay,
Do not touch me like that again.
All right.
What started as a simple repossession has turned into a volatile situation.
Shove you back, you're breaking rules, but don't shove me again, please. You keep barging me, I don't like it. Don't barge me.
Keep going.
Don't barge me. This should be seen as assault because you're forcing us out of the house. Yes, assault. Yes, assault. And they're gripping me as well.
Call the police.
You're gripping me as well.
Paul and Steve need to act quickly to stop this eviction turning nasty. High Court enforcement agents Paul Bowhill and Steve Pinner were in Cricklewood, North London, carrying out an eviction.
This is no longer your house.
Okay, so why are you standing by the edge?
No, they want to see 9 o'clock. Oh, God.
The tenant, Kekwa Dongu, and her family claimed the agents had arrived an hour early.
There was
Oh, you
something.
go wait outside, please.
No.
Instead of packing to leave,
Leave it.
the family argued with the agents.
Listen very carefully. Nobody told us.
No. You listen
9
very
o'clock.
carefully. You listen very carefully.
Okay.
Don't touch me like that.
When Paul stopped Kekwa's son from re-entering the house,
Excuse me.
No, you can't come back in.
tempers boiled over.
I'll shove you back, you're breaking rules, but don't shove me again, please. You keep barging me, I don't like it. Don't barge me.
Keep going.
Now the agents need to get the situation under control before things get out of hand.
Just call the police.
What can you call the police then?
Because nobody's assaulting me.
This time, if you carry on, I'll throw water to him.
There's just water there. Is that for throwing over us as the last? Do you reckon?
She should have throw water to you, as I said.
If you do that, sir, that's assault. You can't do that either.
To ease the tension, the agents allow the tenants an extra 15 minutes to pack. Paul and Steve need to give Kekwa, or the children's father, a copy of the writ so they can seek emergency accommodation for themselves and the 4 children.
Can I just explain something just very shortly? Nobody
You know,
gets...
we're spending our time, you know? So
No,
that
but-
you're taking our time for nothing, you can't even do what
Okay.
you're doing.
The father of Kekwa's children refuses to take the writ. Concerned for their welfare, Paul gives it directly to one of Kekwa's daughters.
This paper, if it's taken to the council office, because there are children involved, they will have to get you emergency accommodation. Wait till they've calmed down, though, but that's the writ. I'm sorry there is such an upset. We are very caring people.
I'm angry that we leave.
Yeah.
I get scared.
We are very caring people. It's okay, it's the worst day of their lives, isn't it? There is never a good day to have your home repossessed.
The agents need to make sure the writ gets passed to one of the parents before they leave.
That's the piece of paper you need to take to the council, OK?
Yes,
So
that's it.
whatever you do, do not lose that piece of paper.
The eviction is almost complete.
Nobody else in here, is there?
I don't think so.
Steve looks around the house to see what possessions are left, but he's in for a shock.
Wow. How on earth can you live like this? It never ceases to amaze me how cluttered and dirty some of the properties are. And you have to actually climb over stuff to get into the different rooms. I just don't know how people can live like it.
The family have now had their extra 15 minutes. Their time in the house is up.
But let's just leave. They don't care. They're just doing their job. I don't hate him for that, but he's just doing his job.
It's your job. It's not your fault. It's your job. They stop it.
Thank you.
Yeah? You see now they stop. They stop. Are you twins?
The husband and wife.
Kekwa and her family are now homeless and face an uncertain future.
It might seem that your tensions are getting frayed, but at the end of the day, you just got to let them go on with it. They shout, rant and rave and moan at us, but they're going to go. And that's the bottom line, you know. As unfortunate as it is for them, there is no going back.
Across the UK, the level of personal debt is on the rise. In the last year alone, total personal debt has climbed by £32 billion. Broadstairs, Kent. High Court enforcement agents Brian O'Shaughnessy and Delroy Anglin are on their way to recover nearly £12,000 worth of unpaid rent owed to a landlord.
Okay, we're going to see Miss Alexandra Donkin and Mr. Mark Howe. We need to collect £11,896.66.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's out of a few quid, isn't he? It's a lot of bloody money.
The debt is for a previous property Alexandra and Mark rented. But if they can't or won't pay, the agents can seize goods to offset the debt today. The writ authorises the agents to make peaceful entry through open doors.
Hello, High Court enforcement. Hello, mate, how are you?
All right.
How are you? Who's Mr. Mark Howe?
No.
I'm here with a High Court writ for Alexandra Donkin and Mark Howe. Are you the tenant here now?
No, I'm the tenant's brother.
Okay, who's the tenant?
Mark Howe.
Mark Howe, cool. Can you get on the phone, please, sir?
No.
No? Okay, cool.
This response makes Brian suspicious.
I'll take it you're Mark then, yeah? You're Mark, yeah? We're here to discuss it and resolve it in the right way. All right. So are you Mark then, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Mark. When somebody doesn't want to identify themselves when I visit, it shows me their intention. They don't want to pay. But it's stupid, it's silly. We're going to find out who you are, it's just a matter of time when.
Now that Mark has confirmed his identity, Brian can serve him the writ and demand payment.
I don't owe rent.
So why's he made a claim against you?
Because I lived there, but I didn't pay the rent.
Mark now claims he isn't responsible for the debt.
Okay, so I'm here to collect £11,896.66, Mark. How would you like to pay it?
What if I don't owe it?
Then we'll look at removing your assets in your home. Do you work?
No.
Do you claim any benefits? How do you support yourself?
She don't.
Okay, do you...
She paid me.
Can Alexandra pay it?
She can't pay it all in one go, no.
How much can she pay today?
I've no idea.
Should we get on the phone and see what we can do?
She hasn't got any money at the moment. She hasn't been paid from the job she's doing yet.
Okay, do you want to have a word with her? Let her know what's going on?
Ask her what.
Mark isn't cooperating with the agents, so Brian changes tactics.
Can you pay me £11,896.66, sir? Okay, we'll look at your assets to remove, okay? Thank you, Mark. Right, what you got there, mate?
The agents hope the prospect of losing his possessions might prompt Mark to pay. But as they look around the flat for goods to seize, they're in for a surprise.
Why have you got a sword behind the door, Mark? It's a bit naughty, that.
Look, you've got samurai swords in there, mate. If you ain't going to play the game, I might decide those samurai swords might be a bit of a danger to me.
Well, I'm not going to hit you with them.
I don't know what you're going to do with them.
I'll tell you now, I'm one.
Yeah, well, you got a laptop in there, haven't you?
We can't.
Why's that then?
I'm using it.
Really? You were using it, that now belongs to us.
If Mark doesn't take any steps to pay the £11,000 he owes, he could lose his possessions. But Brian and Del want to give him another chance.
It's a long day, and the weather's horrible. I don't want to give anyone a hard time. If you don't want to cooperate, that's fine, because I just list everything and we'll take it. All right? Now, that's not what I want to do. All right? So if you fix up, I'll fix up, and we'll start to get to the nitty-gritty and see how realistically what you can get, what arrangement we can do, right, so we can leave you in peace.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay?
I do not expect you to have £11,000. I'm letting you know that. We're realists, yeah? We're going to need today at least £3,000 today to set it off. Can you speak to your partner? Just let them know what's going on. Things can happen. We need a lump sum payment. This is the problem. This is the stumbling block at the moment.
Probably get grand in a couple of days, but today I couldn't get that, and I'm being honest.
There's still no sign of payment, but Brian and Dell must get this case resolved one way or another.
I'm not being funny, mate, but it might be a case of taking what we can get instead of wasting too much time here. Essentially, just a couple of laptops, TV. What is that, Nikon?
Mate, that's expensive.
Is that Nikon?
That's the money.
Lens, wide angle.
It's clear Mark hasn't got the means to pay, but the value of the items in the flat doesn't come close to clearing the £11,000 he owes.
Is there a reason why you're not working?
Yeah, I suffer from liver disease and depression, anxiety.
Okay.
All sorts of things right now. Yeah.
Okay.
This person may be having a bit of a difficult time. There may be some depression issues here, but we still need to make sure everybody's happy and the job's resolved. It's quite difficult, but it's imperative that we take into consideration the whole circumstance that's in front of us.
Mark is still reluctant to offer anything substantial to settle the debt.
I overdid. But it got to a point where the house was not being maintained. We couldn't use the lights, we couldn't use the toilet. Why should I pay a full rent, £600 a month, and not have the place looked after properly? So I decided not to. That was my decision.
Given Mark's circumstances, Brian offers him a lifeline.
What I'd like to do is get a £2,000 payment in 1 week's time and then a £200 a month arrangement. So you can either agree to it or remove your goods. What would you like us to do? If you don't pay it, I will be back here the following day. Do you understand that?
Yeah, to do what?
To remove your goods.
Mark has been offered an extra week to find the money, but his response comes as a shock to the agents.
What if I move them out in the meantime?
Well,
then
that's a whole different ballgame.
What will happen? If you were to dispose of them, you'd be committing a criminal offence, all right, because they're not yours to dispose of. The police would be called and you'd be nicked. Now, if I think for one moment that you might, then I would be better off taking them now.
Mark's suggestion that he might remove his goods before the agents return forces them to change their approach.
Do you know what? I need £2,000 today. Get me £2,000 today, or I'm going to remove your goods. I don't like your whole aura. I don't like what I'm hearing. So the next discussion we're going to have will be about payment, okay? So if you can't get it, I'm just going to remove your goods.
Why can't I do things in an amicable way? What difference does it make if we pay £2,000 a day?
The agents have been in the flat for over an hour. Mark's partner, Alexandra, calls.
Hello. We've got bailiffs round the house, and he wants £2,000 today, and I said we haven't got £2,000 today, you know what I mean? I don't know what you want me to say. No, you stay out of it. You stay out of it, I said. I'm missing all my horse racing doing this, but it's cost me money, I'll bill them for that. Right, okay.
With Alexandra unable to provide funds, Brian is forced to give Mark an ultimatum.
Okay, Mark, you need to get this £2,000, or I'm going to remove your goods. I've got a vehicle on the way here now, and I will carry that out. Okay?
If it turns you on.
If it turns me on, not particularly, no. It may turn you on.
You want to take my computer and my television, you do so.
I'll do that because you can't pay the money you owe.
I haven't got it on me today.
How would you get it?
My mother and my sister.
How long would it take?
Well, I suppose it's just a case of going to the cash point and getting it out.
Is it something that could happen today?
I don't want to worry my mother because she's unwell.
All the moment's all guesswork, isn't it? You haven't asked anybody.
Mark finally starts to try and raise some funds. He calls his sister. Do you want to speak to him? He wanted 2. She can only do 1,000. Okay, sorry about this. I'll get it sorted for you tomorrow. Can you give me the 16 numbers? Mark's sister agrees to pay half of the £2,000 needed today. My sister's got to contact her husband, so I don't suppose he's going to be too happy about it. It's just inconveniencing other people. But Mark still needs to raise the other £1,000.
We've got £1,000 to go.
So you want me to chase around all night looking for £1,000?
We're here for 11,000. We're actually being very reasonable and asking for 2 at the moment.
So that's not enough.
I need another £1,000.
Or you take the stuff.
Yeah.
Mark decides to go and see his mum to ask for help.
I feel angry now.
You can look at me all you want, don't make a difference.
Sleep well tonight, won't you?
I sleep very well, thanks.
You won't when it comes to judgment, don't you?
Maybe not.
There's no maybe about it.
Brian and Del wait in the flat for Mark.
Well, people like Mark, it's everybody else's fault. But you know what? It's your fault I'm standing inside your front room. It's your fault we're having this discussion. Nobody else is. You know what? I don't particularly want to be inside your home at 7 o'clock at night having this discussion. I'd rather be at home having a Horlicks or a Bovril. Do you know what I mean?
An hour later, Mark returns with another £1,000.
I've got the card.
All right, if you can just sign and telephone number there, Mark.
The case is resolved, for now. But if Mark doesn't stick to his payment plan, the agents will be back.
I just want to say that I'm not here to be difficult. It may seem that way. It's not personal. Okay?
Fine.
I appreciate what you've done. I want you to know that. All right?
Brian and Del have got the result they needed in a difficult situation. But in Paul and Steve's next case...
You can't do this. I think you're not human.
They meet a woman whose life is turned upside down by a bitter dispute with her landlord.
16 months this has been going on for.
Really?
And I've spent £6.5 grand.
On average, over the last 5 years, tenants in the UK have spent more than £40,000 on rent. The average rent now stands at £1,280 a month. It's rising year on year, and more tenants are being evicted. Langley, Berkshire. High Court enforcement agents Paul Bowhill and Steve Pinner are on the road again to carry out another eviction.
There's actually no money on the order.
So theoretically, it's just a straightforward, no-nonsense repossession.
It could be an easy job, or they could just be hiding behind the curtains.
The landlord claims he's been trying to get his property back to live in himself, and that his tenants, Habib and Amel Jabali, have refused to leave with their 3 children.
5, 3... Oh, that one.
Well, that's where the ice cream van is.
Mr.
Now, hang on. You've got to be careful here, because these ice cream are sometimes known to have loaded 12 bores.
Loaded cones?
Well, no, because they actually have, like, turf wars, don't they?
The landlord claims the dispute with his tenants has been going on for over a year. This eviction is going to test all of Paul and Steve's negotiating skills.
Something I prepared earlier. It's not often we get luxuries like this.
They've been given a spare key by the landlord.
Hello, sir. Good morning, good afternoon.
Hello, sir. My name is Paul Bowhill. I'm a High Court enforcement agent.
Right.
We have a repossession order for this property.
Oh, we haven't got any letter to say that.
No, there is no letter. I have the letter here.
And I move by tomorrow?
No, you've got an hour now to pack just things you need for today.
Right.
You can come back and pick the rest of your stuff up by arrangement with the landlord.
Okay.
The family have lived in the house for 6 years. Now Habib has just 1 hour to pack some essentials for himself, his wife, and their 3 children.
Is that your ice cream van?
Yes.
I wouldn't mind a large cone.
You can't have an ice cream now.
I can't be moving for last 2 days, boss.
Please. Fast as you can.
I will,
All
boss.
right. We don't want to follow you about. We'll be outside.
Okay.
The landlord, Mr. Jalaf, and his father are here to see the tenants evicted.
Now, Joy?
Yeah, he's in.
Okay.
They've got an hour to get their stuff out.
Cool, fine, brilliant. 16 months this has been going on for.
Really?
And I've spent £6.5 grand.
Wow.
£6.5 grand on this to get them out. I'm going to move in myself, me, my wife, and the kids, and hopefully have a lovely life together. exactly 60 months ago, I gave him notice to leave the property. They then turned around and said, I need 6-7 months. He was willing to increase the rent, which I didn't want him to do, but he did it himself anyway. But since then, we've been through the courts.
Habib denies voluntarily paying more rent in order to stay in the house.
He wants just money. For the last 6 years, I've paid him. I had no problem with him, with the payment. She can't afford it. Suddenly, you want to put his rent up. That's ridiculous. And I can't afford it. You know, the money I'm asking for, I can't afford it. But I never missed a payment, never.
Half an hour into the eviction, wife Amel arrives home with her 2-year-old son.
You can't do this. I think you're not human. It's unbelievable. Not even receiving nothing. We not receive any letter. How can they do this? We are paying our rent. Everything is updated. I know he's allowed to get his property, but I've got kids. This is really ridiculous.
Okay, calm down.
18-year-old son Fedi steps in to help.
Okay. How long have you got to leave now?
You've got an hour to get personal things together. Go to see the council. They will give you emergency accommodation straight away. And then you need to speak to the landlord to move the rest of the stuff out in the next few days, once you've made arrangements with the council.
The landlord, you know what? He's asking us to pay 1,600, which the property is 1,125. This is his problem.
He's going to move back into the house.
No. Excuse me, no. He wants to kick us out from the house.
Despite the dispute, the family must leave the house today.
You've only got to take with you sufficient to last you for today. Go to the council office.
I'm going back now.
Right.
I live in the council. Every day I'm in the council. They know about, look, 1, 2. Every time I go, I have to sit for 4 or 5 hours. My husband, he's ill. He had a back problem. Now we have to move our stuff.
Amel claims that due to her husband's health problems, he hasn't been able to run his ice cream business properly. Now the family haven't enough money to move.
They look for the reference because my husband, he doesn't receive any because he's worked for his own, you know. They ask you for 5-month deposit, 3 months in advance. How gonna afford it? He just working only 20
but now
hours
that you've been evicted, the council will give you a house.
Yes, okay.
And you've now got the letter to take.
Tenants tell us it's the landlord's fault. You know, they want to do this, they want to do that. And I try and impress on them that we don't know the landlord, like we don't know the tenant. We're brought in just specifically to do this job. We have no history with either of them, so we can't take sides.
I have a problem with my back, man. For the last 3 years like this. It's something heavy. This last week was a physiotherapy. And now I'm back again because the phone started. I shouldn't.
The agents have been at the property for nearly 2 hours. Amel is still in shock.
Of course it's upsetting. Who accepts going in the street? Nobody. Plus when you got children, I mean, look, the food was ready for tonight. Can you imagine? Expecting my kids coming from the school to have their dinner? This is unfair. It's just unfair. What you can do? Nothing.
The tenants have a legal right to return to the property at a later date to collect their possessions.
Are they moving everything?
Pretty much, that looks like it.
But it becomes clear that they want to take everything today.
You didn't have to take everything now. You didn't have to take everything now. No, we said only your personal effects.
Yeah.
You can make an arrangement and collect everything else in another day.
I don't want to see him no more.
Okay.
After wait.
Okay. We are coming across people that say, I don't want the landlord anywhere near my property, I'll get it out now. And we've been on many occasions where the house has been empty in less than an hour. You know, they all dig in and get everything out.
How are we doing? Are they going okay? Are they?
Yeah, all right, yeah.
They're not panicking.
Left?
No, it's all right. We're not chasing it for you. But you don't need to clear all the stuff today.
Yeah, but he's going to be in the house, isn't he?
Well, he'll have the keys, but what is there? He can't take the stuff away. We'll walk around and do a video of everything that's in the house. Right. For that very reason, for security reasons. So we know, and it's on camera, what's actually
I'll let him know.
You're a good lad you are. You're just steady, absolutely together.
Thank you.
All right. But if you're my son, I'll be proud of you. I'm sure he is.
Thank you.
Despite being told they can apply for emergency housing, Mrs. Jabali is still worried she has nowhere to go.
What's happened is just for people, very bad people. They haven't got hearts, you know? They don't care if you are on the street with the kids or not.
Paul and Steve have given the family extra time to pack, but now they must leave the house they've called home for the last 6 years.
I'm going to show you something. It means to us. Look. There is no place like home.
Amel is worried about where the family are going to sleep tonight.
It's 2:45. Tonight, I'm sure we're not gonna be housing before 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning.
The eviction is over. Mr. Jalaf has his property back.
Kind of feel bad for the tenants because I gave them every opportunity to, move out on their own terms. But, unfortunately my hands were tied. It's not a nice thing to do, but, I had no choice but to do that.
More than 8 million households across Britain have no savings at all, and the number of families who have debt problems has increased by almost a third since 2012. Luton, Bedfordshire. High Court enforcement agents Brian O'Shaughnessy and Delroy Anglin are on their way to recover a £4,500 debt. But this isn't the first time the agents have visited the debtor, Shirley Davis.
Oh, all right, Delroy. Well, I think we've got the next job. We've been here once prior. What's her name again?
Shirley Davis. She owes Mr. Mustafa Al-Naziri £4,496.
She's got to pay today.
On their previous visit, Shirley refused to let the agents into her house.
First visit when I came with Graham, she went to the top window. I listed some vehicles and put relevant paperwork through to get some sort of reaction, but she hasn't even called. So we might catch them in now. It's 6 o'clock nearly. Just park down here, see if we can get in the side maybe straight away.
As this is the agent's second attempt to recover the money for their client, they're not taking any chances. They go round to the back of the house to make sure this time they get in.
Hello? Hello? High Court enforcement, sir.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, sir.
How are you?
Not too bad.
I'm sorry to disturb you, sir. We're High Court enforcement agents. We're looking for Shirley Davis.
She's not here.
Does she live here still?
No, she doesn't. What are you looking for her for?
Well, it's regarding High Court. We've got a High Court writ, sir.
I'm her ex-husband.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
How long have you been her ex for?
Well, we're not even divorced yet, but...
Del, sorry to interrupt you, sir. Sorry to interrupt you. When I first visited, she was at the top window, so she is here.
Does she live here?
She's not here.
Does she live here?
She stays here, so...
Okay.
Okay.
Shirley's husband claims she no longer lives at the address, but Del is suspicious.
Do you know Mr. Al-Naziri?
I don't know.
Mustafa? You know someone called Mustafa? You don't?
No. What's that you're saying?
It's a High Court writ, so we don't have any information other than what we have.
How much is that?
Well, I can't say too much unless you want to pay it for it.
Well, she's my wife after all.
She's your wife now?
Yeah.
So she's not an ex?
No, we're not divorced yet.
All right. So she's your wife, and she lives here.
Right.
All right then. If you run into that, we can. Yeah, when it suits you. Yeah.
So,
All right.
So can you leave a copy of this with
Well, we've been here too many times. We left letters for her, and she's not phoned and she's not contacted nobody. Where is she now?
I don't know where she's gone.
Do you have a phone number for her?
It's not for me to give you her phone number. Please, let me phone her.
So you call her, talk to her,
let me
tell her. May I go get you back?
Yeah, man.
All right. When people are being evasive with a debt issue, it's actually normal. I expect them to lie. On a few occasions when people are honest, I'm actually quite taken aback, and it makes you want to help them.
The agents have been in the house for 5 minutes when another man suddenly comes into the kitchen.
How are we doing, sir?
What's up? No problem. What's up?
You're looking for Mum because she was something.
Looking for Mum? What do you mean looking for Mum? Looking for who? Who you come to look for? What's the name?
Shirley Davis.
There's no Shirley Davis here. So what do you want?
Talk to me.
Okay.
We've spoken to her husband. If that's your father, I don't know, because you haven't said who you are yet. All right? So I'm taking the view that this is your son, yeah? Okay. And I'm taking the view that the woman that we come here to see is your mum. We've spoken to your dad. Your dad's going to call your mum, so we can try and get this resolved.
Who is he calling though? There's not. What are you talking about? Shirley Davis.
He knows who it is.
Shirley Davis.
It's your mother we come for.
What's your mum?
He just told you that.
What's the name?
He just told you who we come for.
Shirley Davis.
There's no Shirley Davis. What are you talking about?
That's not what.
That's not what.
You know what? Look, don't talk to him. Come out with this attitude. Don't come to this attitude. There's no attitude here.
There's no Shirley Davis here.
Look,
we've already established the facts.
Yeah, there's no.
We've already established the facts.
There's no Shirley Davis here. There's no Shirley Davis here.
It's a stalemate. Will Brian and Dell ever come face to face with the elusive debtor Shirley and get the £4,500 they came for?
Who's Shirley Davis?
Brian and Dell were in Luton, collecting a debt of £4,500.
We're High Court enforcement agents. We're looking for Shirley Davis.
The debtor's husband told the agents she'd moved.
She's not here.
Does she live here still?
No, she doesn't.
And then another man in the house told them he'd never heard of her.
Who you come to look for? What's the name?
Shirley Davis.
There's no Shirley Davis here.
It's your mother we come for.
What's your mum?
He just told you that.
What's the name?
He just told you who we come for.
Shirley Davis.
There's no Shirley Davis. What are you talking about?
That's not what.
There's no Shirley
You know what?
Davis.
Sarah, don't talk to him. Come out with this attitude. Don't come to this attitude. There's no attitude here.
There's no Shirley Davis here.
The agents suspect both men are holding back the truth. Now they have to skillfully get to the heart of the matter.
Speak to your father then if you don't know, because he's told us.
You tell me who Shirley Davis is. Who's Shirley Davis? Yeah, it's quite difficult when the debtor isn't available to talk to, but when you have family members there who can get hold of her and choose not to put you in contact, it's another wall, it's another obstacle. And I'll prod a little further and I'll ask the appropriate questions till I get the answers I need. So just a bit more work like Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, so to speak. So where's this warrant from the High Court? Can I see it?
But if you don't know who Shirley Davis is, why am I showing you?
Let me see.
Why am I showing
but
you?
from the house. I want to see if it's got the household
What's your
name.
All right, give me something. What's your name?
Get me.
What's your name?
I'm Davis.
You're Davis.
Yeah.
That's your surname?
Yeah.
What's your first name?
Sean.
All right, Sean. I'm Delroy, okay?
The man finally admits he is the debtor's son, Sean. But then his dad returns after speaking to Shirley on the phone.
She don't know no most different. She don't know most different. Don't know what you're talking about.
He no longer wants to cooperate with the agents.
You broke into my home.
We haven't broken into your home.
Yes, you have. You come in here unauthorized.
Broken into. We don't need to be authorised, sir. We've not. Look, I've not come here to disrespect nobody. You know, I've explained why I'm here. We've come through an unlocked door. Now, I'm not leaving until we resolve this.
It's my right as a citizen of England.
I've been commanded to come here by the High Court. All right?
Sure, but this is private.
You know something? Call the police then, so we can do our job, because I can see where this is going.
So you tell me what you want to do. There's no payment.
Okay, so then we need to go and have a look.
Then we need to look. We need to look around the yard then, look, so we can put this to bed. All right?
Even in Shirley's absence, Brian and Dell can seize assets to cover the £4,500 debt.
All these things in this house belong to me. Everything in this house is mine.
I know it's yours, but let him look.
If Shirley's husband can't prove the goods in the house belong to him, the agents can take them away. But the bare floorboards on the stairs suggest the family have hit hard times.
Is it council or you bought the house?
Council.
All right.
Downstairs, the agents find letters from other debt collection agencies. It soon becomes clear that the assets in the house don't come close to clearing the £4,500 debt.
It's obvious to me that you haven't. I don't expect you to have £4,500 in your back pocket. You understand me? But some arrangements got to be put in place, isn't it?
The only option left is to set up a payment plan. But this can't be done in Shirley's absence.
We need to speak to her so we can assess her situation.
Yeah.
Your dad, is he retired?
Yeah.
Okay, situation with mum.
Same fish, not right.
There's no goods here to cover the debt other than, well...
Samsung television. I'm not going to take the man's television.
I'm not going to take selling. I'm inclined to return this.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Because we're wasting our time.
After an hour at the house, the agents have no choice but to walk away empty-handed.
Sure, and it doesn't mean this problem's going to go away though either. Yeah, there may be other avenues that the claimant can go down. They can take further legal advice. Sorry if us standing here upset you or this gentleman here. Do you understand? It's not personal. Yeah, we're not here to judge you or your family situation.
All right. All right, sir. All right. See you later. I'm coming at your house, yeah? Bless.
It's been a frustrating case for the agents.
The house is effectively empty. There's no carpet. The only thing of value is a telly and a keyboard. Other enforcement agencies are clearly after them. Judging from how they live, I'd say they probably don't have anything.
The case hasn't been resolved today, but the claimant has a right to send the agents back to try again.
It doesn't mean it's gone away. The issue hasn't gone away. The issue hasn't been dealt with. Just because we couldn't resolve it doesn't mean it won't be resolved.
I'm going to struggle to pay this.
All situations.
You want to stand here like a big man?
Leave it. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Push me about.
We meet the people who are losing their homes.
You must leave the property today.
Today?
And their possessions.
The desks are going. Everything.
You're joking.
Okay.
Because whatever happens...
High Court enforcement!
If you can't pay, they'll take it away.
Latest reports show that Britain's high streets are declining rapidly. Shops and restaurants are closing down faster than new ones are opening.
Stuart McCracken and Ian Taylor are High Court enforcement agents. They travel around the country, repossessing homes, chasing debts and seizing goods when debtors can't or won't pay.
Our next job is going to be, I think, it's an Indian takeaway.
Today, they're in Nottingham to recover nearly £3,000 worth of unpaid rent owed to the landlord of a takeaway shop.
Spice to go. Spice to go.
If the defendant, Shoaib Sikandari, doesn't pay, the agents will seize goods to offset the debt today.
Well, I could do with a curry now as well. Nice Rogan Josh. Oh, lovely. Oh. Hi, mate, you all right?
Sorry, it's careful. I just knocked.
All right, OK, no problem at all. My name's Mr McCracken, that's my colleague, Mr Taylor. We've been sent in by the landlord, mate, to collect outstanding rent. The total amount here we're to collect to prevent the removal of goods is £2,972.80.
By the landlord?
Yeah, by the landlord.
What are you talking about by the landlord?
Yeah, the landlord who owns the building.
For what?
So we're here to collect outstanding rent, sir, OK, to the value of £2,972.80.
All the payment gone through?
It's, apparently not, sir, that's the reason why we're here today.
Well, you got it wrong?
We haven't got it wrong.
I can prove it to you that I pay every month,
okay.
time.
Shoaib has been running the takeaway shop for 8 months. He claims he's up to date with his rent and owes his landlord nothing.
You see, I don't understand, man. What rent you after?
Right, sir, can I explain to you, OK? We're here to do a job, OK?
What job?
I'll be getting my colleague to do an inventory of goods.
You can do whatever you want, I'm not paying you a penny.
We can't get dragged in to the stories that we hear from defendants. If we did, we wouldn't collect anything. The defendants on there rightfully owe that money, regardless of what story the defendants tell us.
Shoaib is adamant he isn't in rent arrears. Backed up by his friend Jahinga, He shows the agents his bank statements.
Said he hasn't
Okay,
received
can
it.
you see on my bank account then, please? Razak. What's the other date? 08, yeah? Mm-hmm. Is that okay?
1,100.
1160, yeah?
Yeah.
It's gone to him, yeah? What's this? The turnover, yeah?
That's the 10th, yeah.
The month before, yeah?
Yeah.
So everything is clear?
Everything is clear.
Okay.
That's ridiculous, this is. I'm sorry, I know it's your job.
No, no, I understand, sir.
It seems Shoaib isn't in arrears. Stuart must find out why the landlord has taken action against him. He calls the landlord's solicitor.
From what we can see, the defendant sent the money over on each quarter. Yeah, he has sent the money. I'll pass you over now, so just give me 2 seconds. I'll pass you over because he'll be able to explain to you.
This solicitor, yeah? Hello? Okay, what rent? Which month? What are you talking about? Yes, I have nothing, 1 penny owe him. I'm paying every month, I'm clear till today. Why would you send somebody else to my shop? I paid everything on time.
Like I said, everyone
What are
else.
you talking about, man? Just how he doesn't understand. You know what kind of solicitor he is?
From what we can see, the payments have been going out each month. We've seen... Sorry, sir?
But then, the landlord's solicitor tells Stuart the real reason behind the debt.
You have to pay the quarter in advance. That's what it is, but he's not paying it a quarter in advance, he's paying it by monthly. So he's still due the quarter.
It turns out that the debt is not for arrears after all. It's for 2 months' rent Shoaib should have paid up front.
At the end of the day, sir, it needs collecting. Bye.
Stuart must convince Shoaib that he does owe the money and needs to pay now.
Fact of the matter is, sir, what you have to do, you have to pay a quarter in advance. That's exactly what it says on your lease, okay? That's what it says on your lease, okay? But what you're doing at the moment, sir, is you're paying it monthly by month by month.
You're telling me I spoke to the landlord.
That's not what it says in the lease, sir. Yeah.
Every month.
So at the moment,
you transfer 1160 to my account.
but it's not what's in your lease.
I know it's
okay?
my lease, but you
so that's
But
fine.
he said he agreed. He said, okay, you can pay
The
monthly.
landlord
That's why
Okay.
you're doing it.
Despite Shoaib's claims that the landlord agreed to monthly payments, the arrangement is not written into the lease. Stuart and Ian are duty-bound to enforce the debt.
I'm going to give you 20 minutes to try and raise his funds. I need to make you aware, sir, that if we don't receive that payment, we'll be ringing gas engineers for the equipment to be removed. 20 minutes, sir. All right? 20 minutes.
Which month?
The clock is ticking. Shoaib should be trying to raise the cash, but he's not listening to the agents.
The lender is clear.
Yes.
No.
We've explained this. The fact of the matter is, if you do not make payment, we will be removing goods.
Despite Shoaib's protests, the landlord's solicitor has given the agents clear instructions. Shoaib has 10 minutes left on Stuart's deadline to come up with the cash. Now they must start taking an inventory in case they have to remove goods.
I'm still a man of my word.
The landlord was agreed to pay monthly because the business is no good.
Okay, still a man of our word, and we've still got another 10 minutes, sir. So try and raise some money in the next 10 minutes. Okay, that's fine, no problem. No problem.
It seems that Shoaib's takeaway business has fallen on hard times. But if the agents remove his kitchen equipment, he won't have a business to run at all.
I will nothing. I'm not behind anything. I got £16 in my account. Because the business is really bad at the moment. And I can't afford it. I got no money, what am I going to do?
People try and use their business situation to try and put us off collecting debt, but nothing's going to change our opinion on that regardless of what the defendant says.
The deadline is up. With no payment in sight, the agents have no choice but to start seizing assets.
Right, can you start switching all the equipment off, please?
Okay, well, you switch off yourself.
No, I know.
You're not touching my stuff.
I will be.
You're not touching my stuff.
Okay, so do me a favour, Ian, can you start turning off the equipment in there, please?
Yes.
Yeah. You want?
You're not touching nothing.
We are,
I'll tell you now, you're not touching it until now.
You ain't going to stop us, sir. You ain't going to stop us. You ain't going to stop us doing what we're going to do, sir. Okay?
If you touch anything, you will see. If you touch anything, you will see.
So now it's going down to threats, is it, sir?
The landlord should have ringed him, said, I'm not happy with you 1 month.
You give it quarterly. You will sort it out. No one sending you, Lord.
Do us a favour, mate. Can you just turn your volume down? Just turn your volume down. No.
You are not locking that door. You are not allowed to lock us in this place. Do you understand?
If Shoaib and his friend lock the agents in, they could be arrested for wrongful imprisonment. With the situation turning ugly, will the agents be able to recover the £3,000 debt they came for? The agent's deadline for payment has come and gone.
Switch the light off. Thank you very much. Close the business.
Shoaib still hasn't made any offer to settle the debt. So now Stuart and Ian have no option but to seize goods in a volatile situation.
We'll take these out the front door, Ian.
Yo, don't touch my stuff. I told you before. Don't touch my stuff.
So we're going to be removing goods, sir.
I don't understand, man.
I told you so, the goods are getting removed.
Don't touch my stuff. I told you before.
Sir, the stuff's getting removed, sir. The stuff's getting removed, sir. Yeah.
You want to fight this fight.
You're threatening me, sir. You're
Put
threatening
a
me.
finger on Ivers, you will be arrested.
Hit me, come on, hit me, come on. Hit me. You want to fight? Hit me. Come on, somebody hit me. Somebody hit me, come on. Hit me, come on, hit me. Come on, I said.
What do you mean hit you, sir? What do you mean hit you?
Hit me, then what will happen?
What do you mean? No. Sir, you do.
What?
You do know, sir, that we're going to put that back. You just know that we're going to put that stuff back, sir.
You got big man, you think you're a big man.
These assets have been seized, sir.
There are many ploys that defendants use to try and stop us doing our job and collecting payments. But they can be rude, they can be aggressive, they can lie, they can pull as much wool over our eyes as possible, but it's not going to deter us from the way that we do our job.
Shoaib's business is at serious risk, but he still won't accept he should be paying rent quarterly, which means he's in debt.
Rent is clear. I'm telling you, I'm showing every month. I'm showing every month, and the bank statement went to his account. Listen, what rent do you want? What rent do you want?
I've told you, sir, it needs to be paid quarterly.
The agents have no choice but to continue dismantling the shop.
Get your hands off me, or I will call the police. You will be arrested. By the way, if this breaks right now, it's your fault. If this breaks, it's your fault.
I'm gonna break it. Honestly, I'm gonna break it.
Sir, it's not.
It's criminal damage now. This no longer belongs to you.
Sir, it's not worth breaking, is it?
This what I'm saying.
It's not worth breaking.
Put it back there.
Just leave Mr. Taylor to do what he needs to do. Just leave Mr. Taylor to do
You are obstructing me from doing my job.
Yeah.
Stuart and Ian have been in the shop for over 2 hours. But the assets in the takeaway won't cover the £3,000 debt. And Shoaib is still refusing to pay the money owed. At an impasse, Stuart calls the office for advice.
So I'll be honest with you, mate, I'm banging my head against the wall at the moment. He's got 15 quid in his business account. There's a few onions in the back and a few peppers, and a clay oven. Where do you go, mate? You know what I mean? He's not going to pay it.
With little hope of recovering the debt today, Stuart decides to give Shoaib one last chance to save his business.
So what I'll do is, okay, let's do it in the most basic principle. Yeah. I will put everything on a control goods agreement for 24 hours.
Okay.
Okay. In 24 hours, if you don't find that payment of £2,924, we will be coming back to have the goods removed. Okay. So this time tomorrow, if we don't have that payment in full, we will be coming back to remove your goods, whether you like it or not. All right?
Okay. You're coming tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. Excuse me. It's my business day. You can't come tomorrow.
I'll be coming tomorrow.
You have to come on Monday.
No, I'll be coming tomorrow. So I'll give you 24 hours.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, you go.
In a fraught, difficult and emotional situation, you need to keep calm, and you need to think with a clear head, because it's quite clear that people be put in situations that they can't think clearly because their emotions have completely overtaken them. But you, as a High Court enforcement agent, have to oversee that and just think of the sight of the target, which is a payment. Have you got a contact number?
Huh?
Have you got a contact number?
No, for you, I'm sorry.
No?
We'll just take the man in front. I'll sign in front.
Right, okay, so there's a control goods agreement. We'll see you in 24 hours.
Thank you very much.
Best thing for him to do now is pay his rent.
Pay what?
Pay his rent.
You have to find a decent job for yourself.
Shoaib's business is safe for now, but the agents could be back.
I'm more annoyed that we haven't got any money, but he's showing us the account, he's got £15 in it. So he's literally living month by month. If we don't get a payment in 24 hours, then we'll just be coming back to take control of the goods.
Evictions across the UK are occurring at an alarming rate. The latest figures from a leading debt charity reveal that 42 properties are being repossessed every day. That's nearly 2 every hour.
"8:15 a.m. High Court enforcement agents Paul Bowhill and Phil Short are heading to Ilford, Greater London, to carry out an eviction.
3, 2, 1. On the right.
The landlord's representative is waiting at the property.
Nice to see you.
He wants to make sure the tenants leave today.
They've occupied this property for about 5 years. They're not paying rent. They're basically occupying it without the permission of the landlord. And the landlord isn't based in the country.
This one here?
They're saying they've got a tenancy agreement. The landlord's not here to verify, so he's basically taking it through the legal channel.
No one is answering the door.
We don't believe they're in there, to be honest. There's no gas or electric going in.
The High Court writ allows the agents to gain entry by force if necessary.
Well done, sir. Thank you. Door, click behind the door. Just shithole. Can you believe that people live like this?
No.
A lot of the properties that we go to, I do find in a lot of the cases, at least half the cases, their living conditions are absolutely appalling. It doesn't cost money to tidy things up.
The property is now repossessed. But inside, Paul and Phil get a shock.
Has he hot-wired the electrics?
Yeah, electrics are being hot-wired.
Everyone thinks no one's here.
Yeah.
The wiring in the property has been set up to avoid the electricity meter. It's potentially lethal.
If you look down behind the door, that's a direct feed coming straight into the house and powering everything. This homemade wiring by unskilled people that think that they can beat the system by bypassing their electrics somewhere, whether that's going next door's business or what, but there's all kind of live cables that are just ended off with a bit of tape.
You got that bar?
Despite the dangerous conditions,
Anybody in?
the team must make sure the property is empty.
Anybody here? There's steps and all sorts. I think it's been abandoned some time.
Yeah.
Inside the bedroom, Phil finds what appears to be boxes of an illegal narcotic called cat, traditionally used in the Somali community.
What else is it? Just be careful of the stairs.
Then the agents make an even more shocking discovery.
We've got someone in bed here.
The property isn't empty after all.
Hello. We're High Court enforcement agents. We have a writ to repossess these premises. You have to go.
No.
Now. Yes, please. Okay. All right. Is there anybody else here? Is there anybody else here? Where?
The man directs them towards the back bedroom, which is also occupied.
We're High Court enforcement agents. We've come to repossess this property. Do you understand what you need to do? You need to get your kit together now and leave immediately.
Why would I leave?
I don't know. Can you get your kit together? Give you 20 minutes, get your stuff out. All right, thank you very much.
Ten minutes later, the men are dressed and downstairs. One of them claims he's a long-term tenant. The other is a guest who has some questions for Paul.
Okay, did you ask yourself how long he live here? 6 years and he's been renting.
I'm sorry, I don't need
Now
to.
he's coming somewhere and saying leave it out. That's not landlord doesn't have right to sell someone.
The landlord has the right to do that. It's been changed to the High Court and we're here today. He has to leave.
It's shocking for me. She sees someone live here. You saying so, go in the street, or maybe landlord may treating him bad. So someone needs to be righteous.
If he gets the landlord's number, you can speak to the landlord. But I still want you to pack your things to leave.
Letters warning them of the eviction have been sent, but the tenant doesn't seem to understand what's happening. The agents must get the men out today.
I'd suggest that you get your belongings, passports, phones, chargers, all your personal belongings.
What's supposed to belong? These guys here can move like this, like that, and I know where to go.
You can talk to me all your
life. No, I'm not talking to you. I'm telling you what I know. That's what you're telling me.
It's now 9:10. The longer you talk to me, the less time you've got to pack, because at 9:30 the doors will be locked.
The deadline is set, but the men still show no signs of going.
In 20 minutes, we will lock the premises.
No, I'm not going. Wait a minute, sir.
With the tenant refusing to leave, Paul's eviction has now reached a standoff. Sir has arrived to act as translator.
My name is Paul.
Yeah, my name is Musa Ali.
Okay.
I would like to present you.
If you're going to have a word with him, tell him he's got to go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Musa has been through the process himself.
dadkan high court ka imaadeen waxa way sharciga high court ka waa wixii aan guri laga bixiyo kaleeto waxa kama qab halo bixiyo marka only waxa dhihi karnaa oo kaliya alaabta inta ugu imaanayno alaabta inta ugu imaanayno hanoo taalo marka waxaynu siinayaan 2 maalmood ama 3 maalmood they understand. Yeah. They only need because you didn't like this. They didn't get any notice.
There is no notice. Well, I'll explain.
I can understand. I can understand. I will explain to them.
Yeah. When we come, right after the county court, there is no notice.
I can understand. 100%. It happened to me myself.
Yeah.
With my family, my kids.
Yeah.
The tenant claims that he has been paying rent to the landlord. He says his requests to get the house repaired were ignored.
Maybe you are not in it's not in your position, but he's saying like the eviction is illegally because we requested the landlord to fix the property.
Right. See it? This is signed off by the High Court, like the highest court in the country.
I know, we know how
so,
it's called,
right.
The Royal.
Before you start throwing out that this is illegal, this would not be signed off by the High Court if this was anything but legitimate. Right?
Okay. So, but there is no reason hadda. Alabteen inaan qaadano, alabta weyn time in siiyaan aan u soo qaadano leeyahay wax kale kuma jirto meesha.
With Musa's help, the tenant and his guest start packing.
The voice of reason has arrived.
Yes.
No, the High Court is High Court. Nobody can say anything. We can understand that. That's it.
If he does need to come back, he'll have to speak to the landlord.
Landlord, that's it. Yeah, I explained to him everything.
All right, sir. And, thank you very much for coming. I do appreciate your help. Okay, thank you. Okay, that's all squared. The man who's just come in is the voice of reason. It does, yeah. He obviously knows the score.
The tenant is now homeless.
Of course, he has to find somewhere to stay. He cannot stay outside, isn't it?
Despite all his years of experience, Paul is still shocked by the conditions in the flat.
What an absolute tip that is. I mean, you wouldn't keep animals in a place like that. It's absolutely filthy. Absolutely filthy.
A leading money advice service has reported that the number of new business loans underwritten by a personal guarantor is increasing. But with 9 out of 10 new businesses folding in the first 2 years, it's often the guarantor who's left to shoulder the financial burden.
Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are in Shropshire, with a writ for one of the largest debts they've had to recover, £61,000, the result of an unpaid business loan taken out by an employment training company.
We are off to Mr. Mark Gibson, and the company is called Image Match Social Enterprise CIC.
Mr. Gibson's company is no longer trading, but he signed as a guarantor for the loan, and now he's personally liable for the debt.
So we are now going to his residential address, where apparently he's been living for 15 years.
Because the debt is so large, the agents are on the lookout for any sizable assets that could be seized if the debtor can't or won't pay.
This is interesting, isn't it?
I reckon that's what, 4 mil?
Oh no, it's more than that, mate.
All sorts of people get into debt. It doesn't matter what house you've got, what car you drive, everybody gets themselves into debt. That's a house. Collect a few more writs and you get a house like this.
There we go.
Hello there. Sorry to disturb you. We're after a Mr. Mark Gibson.
Yep.
Is that yourself, sir?
Not me.
No.
Doesn't live here. See the big building over there?
Yes.
It's on the left. It's part of that building.
Thank you very much for your help.
The agents discover that Mark Gibson lives in a cottage on the estate.
Here we go.
There's a car parked outside. It's a potential asset, so the agents block it in.
Hello? Hello there. My name's Mr. McCracken. I'm a High Court enforcement agent. We're after Mr. Mark Gibson.
He's not here at the moment.
But are you able to get him on the phone?
I'll try.
Even though Mark isn't there, the agents have the right to search the house for assets.
Mark, it's me. There's some gentlemen that just walked in the house. You're on private property and you need to leave now.
We won't be leaving, I'm afraid. Is he on the phone there? I can speak to him.
2 minutes.
Okay.
And I mean 2 minutes.
Hello, is that Mr. Gibson? Mr. Gibson, good afternoon. My name's Mr. McCracken. I'm a High Court enforcement agent. We've got a High Court writ to collect an outstanding balance, sir, of £61,145.33. We have gained entry to the property through peaceful means, so we are...
You are not through peaceful means.
Okay, can you spare me 1 second, okay? We need to discuss this matter, okay?
Out of my property, please.
We won't be. I'll be staying inside your property. I'll be staying inside the property, sir, until we get this resumed.
Get my son.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pass you back now, okay?
He's inside the property and he won't go outside.
We're not here to cause distress, okay?
Well, you're causing me distress. I've got to go and get my little boy.
No, I understand that.
But not
we won't be
until
leaving
I
the
go
property.
get him.
But we won't
No,
be leaving
you're
the
not
property.
staying inside.
We will be.
No, you're not. Well, I'm not
We are,
here. You are
right,
not.
Okay, I need to make it clear to you. We have a High Court writ to access the property.
The agents have the right to remain in the property to draw up a controlled goods agreement. This lists any valuable items which can be seized if Mark Gibson can't or won't pay.
Can you do a quick controlled goods agreement? Just have a look.
Well, how am I supposed to get my
Is there anyone else in the property?
No.
No.
And why are you going in? You're not
I'm
being
going to make a control
invited.
goods agreement.
Vic looks for any assets that could be seized to offset the debt. 5 minutes later, with the agreement complete, the agents leave the house.
He's on his way back.
Stuart moves the van so that Mrs. Gibson can leave to collect her son.
I just want to tell you I'm sorry about this. I mean, I know it's nothing to do with you. I know it's nothing to do with you. Just go and get your son. That's the important thing.
The agents will wait outside for Mark. But the control goods agreement gives them the right to re-enter the property by force if he doesn't show up.
I feel sorry for her, I do. It's nothing to do with her.
Unfortunately, the debt has landed on her door now.
"30 minutes later, Mark Gibson arrives home.
Here's your High Court writ, sir. So we're here to collect outstanding £66,642.
No, look.
I appreciate.
No.
Because, of course, the thing is I've not received anything.
You need to make a payment today. If not, we are instructed to remove goods.
Okay.
Because we've already been inside the property, so we can, if needs be, we can get a locksmith to re-enter the property. You need to make at least 50% today.
50%?
Yeah.
Of that?
Yeah.
30 grand?
Yeah.
Today?
Yeah.
Well,
what can you raise? I am prepared to work with you, I know that. but what can you raise?
Sorry, I'm a human.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but this is the bill that's been outstanding that hasn't been paid for, that you've signed a personal guarantor for, so...
Yeah.
So you've signed it on the basis that you could clear it should anything happen. So we're in this situation now, so you need to try and raise some funds.
But I look, you know what, I'm not going to jerk you around. And
No, I understand that.
You're going to wait 45 minutes just to say, no, sorry guys, you're not going to get 50%.
No, I understand that, but see what you can do, okay? And then what I'll have to do is I'll have to make a call.
Even 20% of that, you know, because 20% of that is still 12 grand.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay.
I'm not going to... Why lie?
Yeah. No, you're right, sir. I know, but like I said, I can give you a bit of time to see what you can raise, okay? So we'll take it from there, sir, and we'll speak in 45 minutes, all right? When we deal with guarantor debts, they need to step up to the plate and accept responsibility for their own actions. If you're a guarantor and you've signed for it, it is your debt. Don't stand and stare, get on the phone and start making some calls.
Mark starts to try and raise some cash. Half an hour later, he makes an offer.
All I can do is sign a standing order for direct debit for £2 grand a month.
You can do that, sir, but we need a payment today.
Yeah,
You need to make some sort of payment today.
I've got no physically...
Right, we'll have to remove goods from the property then.
That's my private property.
It is, but £2K is not going to be enough, sir.
I know.
It's a £66,000 debt, sir. If you haven't come to an acceptable arrangement, then the client will then be issuing a statutory demand, which is bankruptcy. Which means that the house will be at risk. Because you are a homeowner.
Mark's house is now potentially on the line. As the reality of his situation sinks in, his business associate arrives.
So, what's... just going to make the payment now.
A few minutes later, Mark makes his final offer.
2.5 is the most I can get.
Right, is that what you're preparing to propose?
Yeah.
So I'll have to speak to the office about it, but the thing is, if they decline it, I will have to get transport involved for goods to be removed. Right.
Stuart calls the office. With an offer of just £2,500 on a £61,000 debt, he's not optimistic.
He says he can't put his hands on that amount of money at the moment. So that's where we're at the moment. Is what it is. I'll relate the information on.
Mark's offer has been rejected.
It's going to have to be £5 grand today, mate. Some way or another. And then in 7 days' time, 15,000 to be paid, and then we can go into an agreed payment plan.
Obviously, he hasn't got £5 grand.
You see what you can do. What do you reckon, Vic?
Yeah, I reckon I've paid, mate.
I think the business partner's got something.
"20 minutes later, there's still no sign of any payment.
So where we at, guys? What's happening to this payment?
I'm just trying to work out, because I haven't got my cards with me,
Right.
which account it's coming from and how to get it to you.
No, hang on. An hour ago, you told me I can do it on a debit card right now, okay? So what I'll do is I'll give you 5 more minutes, and then I'll be ringing transport to take control of the goods inside the property, all right?
The threat of removing goods finally prompts payment. Mark's associate, James, pays £2,500.
I just need to take a photo of that.
Mark Gibson has to pay £2,500 tomorrow and a further £15,000 in 7 days.
All right, speak to you tomorrow. So we roll, Vic.
That's how we roll, brother.
Boom.
But if Mark doesn't pay up tomorrow, his house and his family's possessions are at risk. And the team will be back.
In London, rising rents and a lack of affordable homes have led to a thriving illegal subletting market. Local councils are cracking down on tenancy fraud, and evictions in the capital are on the rise.
Steve and Ben Pinner are High Court enforcement agents. Today they're on their way to Acton, West London, to carry out an eviction.
This job is a writ of possession.
Whose name's on the writ?
It's a Nicoletta Pataki.
All the agents know is that the tenant, Nicoletta, has breached the terms of her tenancy agreement.
There's a road there you could have gone down.
Yeah, there is.
The landlord took the case to the High Court, and the agents have come today without warning.
So we're going to stop here, because there's nowhere to park further ahead.
All right, OK.
Ben and Steve have a key to the property.
Better knock on the door, make sure they're not here.
If no one's home, the writ allows them to enter and change the locks.
Hello? Oh. Hello. Hello there. We have an order here.
Yeah?
You must leave the property today.
Really?
Yeah. It's from the High Court. It's a writ of possession for this property. You have an hour to get your personal effects together.
Today?
The eviction has clearly come as a shock.
So this isn't actually you? You're not Nicoletta?
No.
Okay.
No, Nicoletta, I don't know. I don't have idea who is Nicoletta.
It seems the tenant named on the writ doesn't live in the house.
You've rented from someone else.
Yeah,
you shouldn't
we
have
rent in the rooms.
Yeah.
We don't have the idea about this.
Yeah.
What can I do?
Nothing can change this, unfortunately.
The repossession order means that anyone else living in the house must leave today.
I know this is not your fault. What we'll do is we'll change the locks, lock the door, and they'll make an arrangement to come back and collect the stuff. If you start to get your bits and pieces together, we can change the locks and everything. Okay, that's it.
Okay,
Sorry.
so... Sundays, okay.
Now the agents are inside, the house has officially been repossessed.
We can change the locks and everything. This lock and the back door.
A locksmith is on hand to open up any locked doors.
So that one we're going to have to get into.
Hello? Hello? All empty.
Oh, this one's open. There's another person in here.
Hello? If you want to get dressed and come out.
Could you put some clothes on? Sorry. You better knock on all the other doors. Someone in that one.
There are more tenants in the house than Steve and Ben expected. They start to suspect the house may have been sublet.
Okay, I only need one opened up here, which is this one.
But upstairs, they're in for a surprise.
God, there's loads of rooms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms. 6 rooms and as many fridges.
It's now clear this eviction isn't going to be straightforward. This 3-bedroom semi isn't all that it appears. It's now clear the 3-bedroom house has been converted into 6 separate bedsits.
Bloody hell, they split this down and split this down and split this down, haven't they?
You bet.
I love that. The radiator's like...
shared.
They built a wall over the radiator. Who adapted it, we'll have no idea. But I don't think it's 100% legitimate by any means. There's not a fire door in the building.
The house has been sublet to the current tenants without the landlord's permission.
Have you seen what's in here?
Shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite clever, really, to convert under the stairs into a shower.
This sort of thing is very common where somebody rents a property and then they just sublet it. He rents it for maybe, well, I don't know, say £500 a month. And he gets like £50 a week off of each person. There might be 6, 7 rooms in here. So he's making a good killing.
The tenants have no idea that they are living here without the owner's consent. Ben finds a note about the rent collection.
The rent money needs to be ready to collect in the morning from 9 AM, otherwise there is a £30 penalty charge.
He's got some cheek, hasn't he?
I know.
Cheek. We're coming across subletting in a phenomenal scale. Somebody takes the property, rents it onto someone else. It's unfortunate that the people that we're throwing out are totally oblivious to it all. And the person who's at the end of the chain is paying their rent and they think everything's fine.
Steve spots an outbuilding at the end of the garden. With his knowledge of subletting scams, he has a hunch this might be more than it seems.
Somebody lives in there. Jesus. Unbelievable.
The outbuilding has been converted into a studio apartment.
Oh, there is a bathroom in there. So there could be somebody actually in here. Because the shower's still hot. No. Okay.
The tenants may be unaware of the scam, but Steve and Ben must still get everyone out today.
You have to pack your clothes and leave today.
Today? Really?
The person who's rented it to you shouldn't have done.
Yes.
So you're unfortunately in the middle of something that is no fault of your own, but the house has to be taken back.
Yes.
So unfortunately you have to leave.
Hello, sir, you okay?
Yeah, all right.
Ben, would you need me to explain something to you? What's going on?
Please.
What's your situation here?
I'm living here 2 years, paying my rent on time.
Okay, calm down. What's been happening is the man you're paying it to rents it off the landlord.
Right, yeah.
And he's subletting it to you without permission.
All right, that's the problem.
He obviously never told you because he wants you to keep paying him the rent.
I'm living here 11 years, and it happens...
11 years?
Not here, but in London, and it happens to me 6 times.
And what do you do?
I'm working in glass factory.
How much do you pay for your room?
160 a week.
Wow.
And I paid my rent all the time, on time. Right. Anyway, what can I do now? Take my stuff and that's it.
The situation with when there is sublet, it's obviously not fair because the people living here don't know anything about it. A lot of these people come over from Europe to work. They're more vulnerable to the situation because they're not well versed on the practicalities of the housing law within the UK and how the system works. And they're just being taken advantage of.
Excuse me, as I'm reading this.
Yes?
It says something Nicoletta Pataki. I never met her.
I know. That's the person who's rented this property illegally and subletted to you illegally.
Okay.
2 of the tenants are away in Spain. It's down to the other housemates to pack up for them.
My flatmates need things, need clothes, and I don't know what they need.
Another tenant is preparing to leave.
What's being done to you is not fair, we understand that. But when you're renting, you need to try and make sure, I know it's not always easy, you're renting off legitimate people.
They were living here for 1 year.
Yeah, I know.
All the tenants are now homeless.
It's not fair because they come in and you must to go in 1 hour, and we didn't know anything.
It was another unfortunate repossession. The people in the house knew nothing about that we were coming, so they are in the middle of it, not knowing anything about it.
It's coming ever increasing in London, isn't it?
Yeah.
They see it as a good business, don't they?